It's the year of the nerd, Dom.
Year of the nerd.
It's the year of the nerd.
And we are here.
Another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Two Detroit nerds coming at you again this week with another great episode. They said Christian Keys is back on his live. He's got his hair. He got new hair. He got a new tattoo. He's looking clean. That check hit. That payoff money. Shit. That payoff money hit. You can tell. That's what I heard through the grapevine. That anytime you see Christian Keys now, he looks like $1 million because he has a million new bucks.
That's scary for some people, million. Bro.
Yeah,
some very specific people.
Yeah,
who have a lot of talk about them out right now. I wonder how that's gonna go. Or it's a clone.
But this has been our ongoing theme of what we've been talking about these last couple episodes. Like this stuff is real. Like he was talking about how he was gonna expose some major producer that's major black playmaker and industry leader.
Gee.
He was about to say all this stuff, then he disappeared. We didn't hear nothing. Now he's back, and now he looks like he has he just opened up a winery,
Yeah, he must have went to the same gym Gucci did after he got out of jail,
Right. He must have gone, right. He just got a membership at the same gym that Gucci Mane got to right when he got out. Yep. So it's about right.
It is, man.
But how you doing, Dom?
Bro, I'm good, man. A little on the tired side, but I'm good. Things have been going good. We've been getting this shit out,
Yeah.
I feel like we have a lot more on our plate, but not too much that we can't fulfill.
Yeah, we're not stopping.
We're doing new things, bro.
It wouldn't even be up to us anymore. We've signed the papers.
Yeah.
We're here now. We don't stop.
Like, that little picture or thought that people always have when like their brain's on autopilot and it's like the hamster running on the wheel connected to their brain to power that. That's been us for the last year and a half.
Yeah. It's just
except it's like a little cheetah instead of a hamster because the cheetah won't get tired as quick.
Right. No, we have Boeing engines
just running our fucking brains right now.
Yep.
That's why we just come off so otherworldly, like we're cyborgs on this camera. Are we?
100%.
I don't know.
Are we AI?
You guys need to tell us at this point.
Would you know?
We wouldn't know.
But I've been really excited about a lot of the things that have been going on in the world. I mean, it's a pretty crazy time. If anybody's just taking a chance to kind of look at the headlines,
open your fucking phone once.
I was watching a video of armed like soldiers in New York City subways. Like
I seen that,
bro. All right. I mean, here's the thing, man. I want to tell you that it's like, hey, we're gonna just see that temporarily. There's just a lot of things going on right now. They want to restore law and order. But then you think, we got an election coming up.
Of course.
We've got a lot of different things going on around the world that are pretty scary.
Yeah.
Right? And if something were to happen on top of the high security that we're already, alert that we're under right now, would this security apparatus that's appeared now to, kind of keep order, would that disappear? If anything were to happen, like if nothing were to go wrong, then yeah, we can expect that this is a temporary thing. These
right.
soldiers are just going to be in Grand Central Station checking your bags just temporarily because, there's some threats going on right now. There's some stuff that people want to feel more secure about. But like, I feel like that's kind of how we felt about TSA, right? And I don't know if I've flown recently. The TSA is still there, so.
And they have been and won't go away.
I don't think they're going away. So I don't know, man. That shit really creeps me out when you start seeing that whole very kind of corny police state idea or whatever, that dystopian future start to actually materialize in front of us slowly. It's like, oh yeah, this is how it's gonna happen.
Like, all those movies were right.
Right.
All those video games were right. Like it's like copy and paste, but to real life. So it is scary, bro, and it's even scarier because of what else is happening around it. Like you had already mentioned, like it's not just another state of war. It's not just something like that, an attack on our country or an attack from us on another country. It's everything is coming down right now.
Yeah, like it's not one thing where you could point to and be like, well, if we just protect ourselves against that one thing,
then we're good. This will go away afterwards. No, this is
there's like 30 fires going on at once.
Yeah. The power, the all powerful, the elites are. I feel like I'm really hoping they're coming down.
What do you think about these cyber downages? So they had the AT&T network that was down.
Facebook.
Then you have Facebook. Then
IG.
LinkedIn was down a couple hours. I think earlier this morning or something. What's going on there?
I'm laughing because when that happened, people were trying to say it was because Chris Brown announced his tour, and I was like, "Are you guys fucking idiots, bro?"
Wait, who said that? Was it serious?
Some people. They were serious.
They were serious. They actually thought
some Chris Brown stands that happened to be women.
That's mad funny.
But it's hard to say, bro, because I don't feel like I'm the best to ask why that's happening. I can't really put my finger on it right now. I haven't seen too many sources stating like, Facebook and IG support these people while this was happening, or
right.
You know what I mean? I feel like there's been, again, a lot of these talks, right? Let me give you my answer. I just thought about it. This media shit. We've had plenty of things in the media come about with some pretty powerful people, and only so many of these things actually stayed there, right? They stayed in place. They didn't really just get washed away. They didn't just get solved instantly, and then it was like no more talks. This right now, though, this is a lot different. This is like...
Wait. Do you think that it's because somebody's maybe posting something about someone important and they just down the whole system so that no one even sees it?
Not one person per se, but I feel like how quickly so many people took this.
Dominic, you're a genius. I didn't even think about that could be what's going on, because it's like these are information sharing networks, right? They keep going down. Maybe there's some information they don't want us to share.
Not to get too crazy, but there is one that I seen. I don't know if you heard about it. Did you see the Ryan Garcia news? Boxer Ryan Garcia.
I wanted to show you something, actually. I'm glad you brought that up.
Good.
I wanted to show you something.
Good, because
so we can actually pick this up on our microphones, but then I'm also going to clip this so that we can make this into a clip, because this will be our reaction video to the Ryan Garcia. So imagine, Dom, if I was like, yo, if you just, I was a successful fighter, I was just at the top of my game, everything was straight.
Right.
And then you hadn't heard from me in a while, and then I just sent you this.
Hey guys, it's me, Ryan.
I just watched this
I'm
yesterday.
coming on here to explain what's going on. I'm not in possession of my phone. I can't get access to my Instagram. My cards are locked. And I'm just being real, I'm being real taken advantage. And I personally wanted just to send out a video to the people that love me and my fans and family that's concerned that I'm okay. I'm not dead. I believe in Jesus. All those are lies. And, they try to put me in jail. They're blocking my cards. I can't.
That followed the outbreak of what he was saying with Andrew Tate in the chat.
That was before that.
Okay, fair. That was before, right? So, first and foremost, to put out a video like that, right, to reassure your family members and your close ones that your safety is number one right now, right? Look at his body language. Look at his face as he's talking. He looks nervous. He looks like, to me, whoever propped up or is holding that camera, whoever's behind that, it seemed like to me there was about 10 dudes right there with knives and weapons all pointed at him. If he says one word or signals one thing, they're going to cut his head off, right? That's what that looks like to me. It looks like he's being held hostage there. He's not in possession of his phone. Why? Celebrity or not, why were you not in possession of your phone? Two, right before he came out and said what he said on Twitter, X, whatever they said he was, wherever he was talking about that, how ironic is it that he's locked out of his IG? And why would his accounts get frozen?
So this comes out next, right? And this should be like, oh, okay.
I'll return back to Instagram. Now, over these past couple of days, you guys have seen some pretty intense things.
He's not even talking the same.
And I don't understand what they look like. But I'm coming back to announce I'm not going to speak on any other topic other than boxing, sports, and my fight. That's the only thing I'm going to be talking about. And I'm training for this fight. I want everybody to know this fight's still on. I 420, 5 weeks of super focus. I have PBD helping me in this camp.
I haven't seen this.
You didn't see that? I think that
see
came out today.
Following. That's
yesterday. Yeah. So I want your take on this. I didn't know enough about this guy Ryan Garcia. So kind of tell me, what do you know about him?
So he was an example of a boxer who kind of, not to take any credit away, kind of got a little famous and out there without having to live the boxer's life completely. When I say completely, I mean like he wasn't a guy out here just winning so many fights. He wasn't fighting the best people, knocking them out, making it look like it was effortless. It wasn't like that. But I guess because in the media's eyes, he was like the pretty boy. He was under Oscar De La Hoya, who kind of had a similar path, although Oscar De La Hoya's path was more respectable because he actually fought a lot of people, right? So outside of that, one thing I've always connected with Ryan Garcia whenever I've seen him, he always would talk about, I love Jesus, praise Jesus. You can tell he's a very religious man.
Right.
He's young.
Right.
And that's not something that's so common to see nowadays amongst young people like that.
Yeah.
Because they've kind of, for the most part, a lot of them have done away with religion. It's like they live their lives, believe what they want to believe. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how they go about it. You know, to each his own.
Right.
But outside of that, without trying to gravitate off of what I only see on the media too often, because I don't like to judge people based off that.
Right,
It's all fixed, you know what I mean, for the most part.
Yeah.
He seems down to earth. You know, he seems like a decent human being. And when the original clip came out of him just going on his outbreak, all these posts he had on Twitter, all these things he was talking about, these wild accusations, these wild claims, I was surprised, but not in the way of, damn, he's on that too. It was more like, this happened to him too. And you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, wow, like this guy, you know, I'm thinking like, I understand he's a celebrity and he's in boxing. I understand it's like it's high up on a platform for what it is as far as a career or a stance in life is. But I was a little surprised because he's not like out there. He's not like a Will Smith. He's not like a Floyd.
Right.
He's not like a Canelo. He's not like the guy.
Right.
If I would, he's not the guy. So seeing all that, it kind of opened my eyes a little more. I'm like, man, these guys, if you're involved in any kind of way, something like this could happen, right? Now,
I think it's you reach a certain level of maybe you're dealing with certain people that you have to do deals with, brand deals, I don't know, sponsorships. Maybe that's where he's getting this influence, because I'm like, what would a boxer have to be? Because you saw him talking about Bohemian Grove and they're sacrificing kids, and it's like, why would a boxer have been invited to Bohemian Grove? You know what I mean? It doesn't, and he's like 25. You know, it's not like it's. I could understand why, you know, Mike Tyson might get invited. You know what I mean? But he's, you know, still he's, you know, you said he was good, but he's probably still pretty early in his career.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he's super young. You know what I mean? Like there's guys around his age group or that came out around the time that he did that are much bigger than him. Right
Was
now.
he like a big influencer? Maybe were there a lot of? Did he have
became
a lot of,
that after?
Okay,
that's why I was saying like he didn't completely go down that boxer's path, because a lot of these other guys, just to name a couple, like Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, like these guys got big because of their performances within the sport.
Right.
If that makes sense. Ryan Garcia got big because he was around like Jake Paul. He was around a lot of these social media influencers, right?
Oh, so maybe that's where the connection.
He had the connection.
Was he like in Hollywood? Was he like in that circle? What was he doing?
He was around Hollywood people, yes.
Okay.
More so. Now, and you know, these other guys maybe here or there got around. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm kind of biting my own tongue here because Devin Haney just wasn't seen in a picture in a pool with Diddy, so I Mr. Take that, but
right.
It was just all very weird, man. You know, to hear these like super religious people come out and just explain these vulgar things in the way that he was. He literally said multiple times, I don't give a fuck anymore. He's like, I'm letting this shit out.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it. And the things that he describes, you guys can go check this out for yourselves. It's not necessarily podcast friendly for me to say exactly what he was saying on there. Go check it out yourself. It is wild. And before you do that, I want you guys to remember one thing before you go view these clips. When you do, take it with a grain of salt and don't just write them off as being crazy, delusional, or whatever it is, because that somehow ends up always being the case here when anybody with some power, with fame, comes out and explains these kind of things to you guys. You guys always say they're crazy, they're on drugs, they're drunk. He's trying to sell his fight. Now I do want to point one thing out.
Yeah.
The thing you just showed me,
right?
A lot of people already called that. They literally said, "Now watch," because at the end, I don't know if you remember, at the end of him explaining, going on his rant, he said he would just wait and he'll release the info at the right time. Everybody else said, "Now watch." Everything else that he comes out with from here on is going to be strictly boxing. So I can't say people would be wrong for saying he's doing this to sell his fight. I can't, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but does he need to go to this length? I don't know. I just don't know. But the other thing too, just to play devil's advocate, because I would totally normally be on your side of like, hey, they want you. First of all, anytime somebody's at a state where if they know these things, they're going to tell you about them. That has to be a state of very high distress because they're doing something extremely risky, right? So they may not seem it because it's a high stress moment, or because they may be in a state of mind where they're very paranoid or whatever. It may seem like they're dysregulated, right? And then people are like, oh, they were on drugs or whatever. A lot of times that, that can be a smokescreen for discounting what they're saying. But with this particular case, I'd like to play devil's advocate.
Oh yeah.
That nigga looked turned up in some of those videos.
He does.
Maybe that's just being like punch drunk. Maybe that's what I'm seeing on his face.
It could be.
But he looked twisted up, like he had been on a 3-day bender or some crazy shit.
Here's the thing too that I also want to think about to counter the devil's advocate role. Think about this, right? People always want to say, like I said, he's on drugs or he's drunk. What do we see drunk people do that they usually don't do when they're sober? They start telling the truth or what's truly on their mind in most cases. So to say that he's drunk saying that isn't necessarily, for me, a reason to say he's lying or doesn't know what he's talking about. Because I've had very well formulated conversations when I'm drunk.
Yeah, that's true. No, me too. But my question is, though, is there any bearing on his past performance that would make you think? Because I did see a video of him at a weigh-in or something, or at a press conference, and there was some other dude. I don't know the fighting world.
It was when he fought. It was the last fight when he fought Tank Davis.
Yeah, and the dude was like, "Yo, you got to stop doing that. The C word."
Yeah. He's. I mean, I'll never rule that out, especially for a boxer. I mean, it's been riddled throughout history with boxers using Coca-Cola and like the such. But the way he looked at that weigh-in, what I don't think was because of that. The problem was there's a weight clause in boxing contracts when you sign a fight, and it's that you have to show up under or at a certain weight for the weigh-in, and you only have, I think, so many hours after that before the actual fight. It's not even it's not even a day's worth, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a day's worth. He was drained because he was fighting, I think, like a good, like, I don't know the exact number. I want to say around 10, 15 pounds under what he would normally be for fight day, So, and the things that these guys go through to make weight is super draining of the body and mind. It's ridiculous. I couldn't imagine how you would feel off that.
No, yeah, I remember I wrestled like way when I was younger, like not in high school, like literally in like middle school.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for like one season. But just knowing that world of, making sure you have to make weight, all that shit is crazy. Even, when you're at high school level, imagine, the pressure. Top level. Yeah, what they're, of course. But no, I mean, my question is like, was he a partier? Was he a guy that might have a problem with, particular things?
I would never put it past him.
Because he's 25.
He's 25. He's 25. He's got
millions of dollars.
Well, according to him,
what? Oh,
he said billions.
He did say
that also struck my mind when I heard that, because it's like, bro, that's not saying people don't lie about things that are easy to find out, but why lie about something like that?
Because he could be crazy. He could just be like, I mean, you see people in manic episodes all the time make up their, their net worth or what they're capable of. That's like a trademark of being in a manic episode.
Yeah, so, my question though, through all this, is what caused this manic episode?
That's my question. That's what I
want to know.
Is like what, and if he did see anything, what is true about it? You know what I mean? Because it could be he's so whacked out because he did see something or something was shown to him, and it may not be what he's saying, but it's just something that he can't really bring. Again, this brings us back to our thing we talked about last episode, is there's this wall you hit with all of these types of conversations where you're at 99% of understanding, and there's that 1% is left out, not said, never articulated, and you never really know and what sparked this entire issue. And for people who are like, what is he talking about? Maybe they didn't listen to our last episode, which you should be doing.
Yes.
I'll just use an example as my clarification. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the Dave Chappelle interview?
Yeah.
Where he talked about Martin Lawrence, and he said,
yes,
Martin Lawrence was running down Hollywood Boulevard screaming, "They're trying to kill me." And he's like, "This is a guy that's done $100 million movies. This is a guy that's toured the country, like, an incredibly smart, sharp, with it guy. You can't do those things if you're not that person."
No.
What would make him do that?
I mean, at this point, guys, you tell us.
Where what's on the other side of the door? What are people talking about when they say? I mean, we've heard about what a freak off is, right?
Of course.
But like,
we're talking about beyond that.
Beyond that, like, what's the other thing? What's the thing Cat Williams was talking about? What's the thing? All of these guys. Every time these stories come up, there's this blank.
Yeah, you always end up at the same point. Why did Dave Chappelle turn down $50 million and go flee to Africa and just go and just nobody heard from him for a minute? Like,
right.
You gotta really ask these questions and not, like I said, don't just think they are crazy. Don't think there's something mentally insane with them. You know what? Maybe you can think that, but again, question what made them go that way.
Yeah,
because you never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think that a lot of this stuff too, when we do these kinds of conjectures, right? Like, we're missing a lot of the obvious abuse, right? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to someone, for example, like Britney Spears is a great example of this, is like, you could have said, oh, her music videos are rituals and she's being controlled by Satan. And it's like, okay, I mean, maybe her shows and stuff are rituals. That could be true. But what's definitely true is that her family is taking advantage of her and
they allowed it,
treating her like she's some sort of slave for her conservatorship, through her conservatorship, right? So it's like there's other bad shit that's already going on in front of us that
and
sometimes
they just look away.
Yeah, sometimes these other larger, more fantastic things can sometimes cloud us as to like, but this other thing's also definitely happening.
Right. No, I know you're right. I guess in a lot of these cases, it's formed that way. It's made that way to distract you. You know what I mean? From what we should be thinking is important. And
I think there's an element of that. Yeah.
Everybody could open their eyes a little bit more to these kind of things and really just look around if it's something you're interested in and try to do it for yourself. Don't do it for others. Go find this information out for yourself. Have a better understanding of what's going on in the world.
So, speaking of the world, our world, the Metro Detroit area, there's a lot of really interesting, we've talked about this in a lot of different episodes, groups of people that live here, and we
of course
have the name Detroit in our show, so sometimes we like to talk about Detroit, the community, the people.
We should.
And you're a part of a couple of different of these ethnic communities. You're part Black, you're part Chaldean, you're
from the mountains of Caucasus.
You got some white in you. You got pretty much the tapestry of this city is basically me. So one of the things that I feel like a lot of people who might listen to this show who aren't from Metro Detroit might find interesting is that particular community, the Chaldean community.
Of course.
Because I didn't know that much about them before I moved to Michigan.
Yeah.
And, we've shared stories tons of time off air about, I'm part Ethiopian and, the immigrant experience coming to this country and having to just like figure some shit out and be inventive and be have ingenuity as to like how you make it to that next level and help your community and provide for your community. And I think every group kind of has things that they can work on, right? Like I think it's fair to say I'm Black. I can say there's things Black people could work on. Right?
I'm white. There's things white people can work on.
Right. There's things everybody can work on, but I think particularly there's something so just to pay respect to the Arab cultures, the various Arab cultures. Like one thing I think they really do exceptionally well, is look out for their collective
fellow Arab man or woman.
They do look out for each other.
And I have a perfect example of that, as a matter of fact.
Do you, Dom?
Yes, I do.
Please,
without naming any names.
Of course not.
Yes, we do not air people out here unless they come for us.
Yeah.
A perfect example of this, right or wrong, Arabs, Chaldeans, they stick by their family. That is a known thing if you know of this culture. said a very interesting story to tell of how far that strive for wanting to take care of your community can go. A few years ago, a news headline hit about somebody that worked for a specific car company / dealership, the top employee was caught doing something a little crazy. And the craziness is kind of the only reason and main reason that this person got to where they were. But this wasn't found out till years later.
Yeah.
So long story short, for those of you who are Michigan natives, you guys already know about Chrysler, how big the big three are here. But let's focus on Chrysler for this moment. There's a specific thing Chrysler offers their employees called an A plan. If you've ever leased a car, bought a car, there's no way you don't fucking know about this. If you don't, start riding a bike to work. That's all I can say for you. Long story short, the A plan is something given out to employees that they can give to their family members. It's changed now. It's only family members.
Okay.
Used to be, you could get away with like, oh yeah, this is my cousin right here.
Right. But you got to show proof now that's your immediate family.
I'm talking marriage certificates.
Right.
Crazy shit.
Yeah. Probably because of this, what you're about to tell me.
Yeah. To get back, and this isn't something new that just came out from this person. This is something that's happened before. It's just this is somebody that got caught on a high level. These A plans were supposedly being stolen.
Yeah.
Okay. And sent to and put into a Facebook private group.
Yes.
And whoever were the admins or whoever was so heavily involved with the page would get to them and then sent back to a specific place, right?
Right.
Given to somebody who was in charge of these sales of the cars, and you got to this guy, you're getting the fucking deal of your life.
Right.
When I say your life,
because you're getting a premium package with what you
for
call
like
the
stock level.
Right. What you call like the A plan, which is like the best price that you could get all of those premium things on, because it's meant for people who work for the company.
Of course.
Right. So they were giving those out, those basically those company codes.
Yeah.
To people who weren't in the company just because
literally
they were hooking people up.
It's like if you worked for insurance and you found a way to fuck with the system and like, bro, I'll give you the lowest rate you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's gonna come to you.
Everybody's coming to you. So you're number one salesperson.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was the number one car salesperson in the area for that.
I thought it was in the nation, but I mean, fuck, dude. But yeah, so like this went on for so long, and they finally caught wind of it, and it was kind of crazy to me because it's like, certain things should be set off as alarms, right?
Right. Right.
How is this guy doing this? And that's what people were asking. I even remember a specific story. Somebody I know, I showed them what I got for something, took it back to a different dealer they were at. The dealer didn't believe the price he was told, showed him the price.
Yeah. The dealer was like,
yeah.
He had to
match it. He did. He said, if you show me that, I'll match you. He's like, there's no fucking way in hell. He showed it to his guy. The dude couldn't believe it. He's like, all right, give it to him.
What?
But I mean, all in all, look, man, crimes are crimes, right? I'm not one to just turn a blind eye, but what I didn't like was this, right? He did nothing violent, first and foremost.
Right.
And before I get into this, I'm not excusing anything. What's wrong is wrong.
Right.
In the eyes of who it's wrong.
Right. Everybody should follow the rules. However, if you look at like what you're having to pay for car notes,
it's kind of like, that feels like a crime.
You're getting robbed. They're going to rob you, right? So he was basically just saying, hey, I can get you a car where you're getting robbed the least you could possibly get robbed.
Affordable prices, right? So like what I'm saying this is, and don't let me sound biased because I know these people or they're part of the same community that I am, but like the way it was handled, I didn't like. So for you guys that don't know, obviously Chrysler were the ones on the offensive side of this lawsuit, of course, and they made, I think if I'm not mistaken, like it had, close to like tens of millions of dollars because of this one person, and the amount that they claimed was stolen was a fraction of that, nowhere near the actual amount of what was made, right? And then they just like kind of just cut ties with the guy, made him seem like villain of the century, and it was like let's do away with this guy, you know what I mean? But they knew there's no way they didn't know, and that's what I don't like. Like they literally ruined this man's whole image, right? So like whenever if however long he's in jail for when he gets out. You know what I mean? It's going to be like that's automatically going to be attached to his name wherever he goes.
But he'll be okay because he probably looked out for so many people, and this is a great community.
It is, and like sometimes, man, especially in this case, hey, viewers, say what you want about me. I can turn a blind eye to something like that. Like I said, he didn't harm anybody.
No, he was, and these, again, like you were saying, the way that you have to pay to buy a car is basically robbery. It's
he was doing us a service,
a crime. Yeah, so you gotta take the deals where you can get.
Listen, if you're giving the big fuck you to the corporation to look out for the people,
yes,
you're a good person in my eyes.
That's how
as long
it
as
has
you're
to
not
be.
harming people.
That's how it has to be.
That's how it is, bro. I mean, we take care of our people over here.
Yeah, you got to take
one
care.
way or another. No matter the risk.
No matter the risk, man. You gotta let your whole community thrive. That's how it goes.
You do. That's how you come up.
But yeah, man. No, I just think that kind of stuff is so interesting. It's so interesting to see what people find out, like what little breaks in the system people can find and exploit. And it does take ingenuity to find those things. And if you don't think that the powers that be or the controlling systems, that they're not doing that to you, if they're not trying to find little cracks in your system and ways to take advantage of you, you're ridiculously stupid.
They perform that tenfold of what any of these other people under them could even pull off.
So imagine like you are from another country, basically another planet. You're from a completely different culture than this. You come here, you learn the language, and you're like, oh shit, I'm seeing an exploit here in this matrix that no one else is seeing. That's an incredible mind, right?
It is.
That's an incredible mind. That's somebody who is exceptional, and
it's not easy to stumble upon.
And when you find a whole community of people like that have been able to, because it's rough living in Metro Detroit, and it has been for a long time. I mean, things are starting to change now, but this particular community has been able to weather that storm very well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No matter what. I mean, since they first migrated here, it's literally been that way. And to anybody again that is a Michigan native, this firsthand. I mean, like Chaldean community, really realistically, me and you talked about this before, they get their hands in every single thing that even has like one step further into success. Like when I tell you, like pretty much every kind of business you could think of, a lot of people in Michigan that own these businesses or maybe own the land that it's on, whatever. There's a lot of Chaldean names attached to these things, and it speaks something, man, because we've also talked about this. I think about, I'm born in America. I have all this freedom here. I have all these rights to me. I have like what I would say these eases of life that a lot of people from other countries dreamed of having, right? Not in a bragging way. I'm not bragging at all when I say this. What I mean, what I'm bringing about for the story is to come from that, right? And all these hardships, this whole completely different way of having to live life, come here and make like a booming success story out of it. It just shows the drive and motivation and the seriousness that a lot of these people held within themselves because they made it, bro. Like, there's people born here that don't get close to that their whole life, don't even come close.
Exactly, yeah. And it is something, it's something that I think everyone likes to say this country is like built for. This is the place where you can make it, but there's a lot of fucking roadblocks and things designed to make sure that communities like that don't exist, and they've been able to beat those odds, and it's pretty great.
It's a cool revolution to witness and have some history in. Not me personally, but your history, my history.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's definitely cool. So yeah, I mean, was there? Did you have a?
You want another story?
Yeah, or another story, anything topic. We got time.
I thought you meant pertaining to what we were just talking about.
No, I thought we would come to a natural end to that one.
Oh yeah, no, we did. I mean, we can go off into the anime corner if you want, bro. I have been watching a new show. It's not necessarily the most popular of shows, but I have finally watched a new show, and it's definitely of a new genre that I am not one to usually watch.
Okay, let's hear about this.
It is a show called Metallic Rogue.
Okay.
I've just been seeing it. It's popping up a lot on Crunchyroll when I open my app, even before I ever started watching it. So there's a reason. Yeah. It's in the algorithm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
if Crunchyroll's feeding it to you, that means there's about
there's better be a reason,
million,
right?
That means there's about 20 million people just currently streaming.
I figured as well. I'm like, let me check this out, man. It looks different. Let me give myself like a new taste of a show that I haven't gotten.
Right.
I'm only about 3 episodes in, but the premise is basically it's like a future dystopian world, and there are these beings on Earth called Neons. It's spelled Nean.
Okay.
And they are humanoid cyborgs, if you will. They bleed.
All right.
But you can tell that they're still, very robot-like. Like, they have to inject themselves constantly with this certain serum that keeps them alive every so often. If they don't, they basically shut down, die, and they literally get scooped up off the street like a piece of garbage, tossed somewhere, and then I don't know what happens with them yet. I'm not too far into it. Okay. The aspect of it that I like is there's some mech vibes to it.
Okay, and you don't like mech stuff though. You were telling me
I
about
do.
how
No.
much you hate
I'm just
stuff.
not a. I never said I hated mech. I told you Code Geass is one of my favorite. I told you I loved Gundam as a kid.
You were saying mech anime is like the worst anime there is.
No, I definitely told you Slice of Life is.
Okay.
Definitely said Slice of Life.
All right.
But it's got some mech vibes. So some of the Neons, they are of a higher class. Like the Neons basically cannot. The normal ones cannot. They are coded to not attack humans, to not kill humans, and if I'm not mistaken, not kill other Neons. So it's kind of like iRobot, right?
Okay,
They're not supposed to operate this way.
Right, okay.
There is a special exception with ones called alters. Now, these ones can change their appearance to not show any signs of being a Neon. And then they have a separate form, which is, I think, the alter form. And that's when they come into like the somewhat mech look. They're not huge mechs.
Right.
They're smaller though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all in all, I would definitely say check it out. It's got like some Mad Max vibes with the setting sometimes. Like they're in like a desert area. They have like armored trucks. They're riding around. A lot of military forces out looking for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of symbolism in the show too. Like the Neons are treated as basically like third class humans, they're like under everything. They're treated poorly. They're like work slaves. They're bought, things like that.
I see.
And the animation is dope. The story hasn't caught me too much yet though.
Okay, but you like the animation.
I like everything else that I've seen so far.
Okay,
everything else is checked out.
Are you in?
3 or 4 I'm only in right now.
Okay, so
it's still somewhat fresh.
Yeah, so I think I could probably catch up with you and we could probably talk about it next episode.
I like it. I think you might like it too because like I said, man, it's like a breath of fresh air because it's not anything that I would normally watch or that's like similar to anything else I have been watching.
Right, and this is new. This just came out.
Yes.
So yeah, man, I think this would be a cool way for us to talk about shit because that sounds exactly like the anime I want to watch.
Yeah.
Because that's dystopian, mech, technology, military. That's my type of anime.
Yes, good,
so
good. Yeah,
I'm down to check that out.
I'm glad. What about you?
Man, I haven't really I haven't gotten back into the anime in a couple weeks. I have played a little bit of COD, not too much. I set up a Pal World for Allie. She played it I think for 2 days and like nonstop. I'm not kidding. Like beginning of the day, end of the day, the next day, the whole thing. Like actually actually grinded.
Yeah.
Which was funny to see, but the game's definitely not for me. Like I saw her play it. I watched for like 4 hours. It was cool to watch.
Right.
But the building aspect of it, the foraging aspect of it,
a lot of time consumed.
It's a lot of time consumed.
A lot of frustration brought upon too, bro. I had days where I was fucking sitting in my fucking room sweating because some shit wasn't building the right way. And I'm like, bro, this wall just connected. This is directly next to it, and it's not doing what the fuck I needed to do. And then you delete the wrong piece, whole bitch comes crashing down on you.
Yeah,
there's a lot of frustration.
A lot of problem solving in that game, which for her is fun. For me, that's anti-fun. That's work again. I can't play anything that's like problem solving puzzles. I hate fucking puzzles. Fuck a puzzle.
Way.
Anytime there's like a game where there's like a puzzle part of it, that's probably where I'm going to stop playing the game. Straight up. If there's a puzzle solving part,
I'm just gonna go ahead and just jump the gun here and assume you've never played like any Legend of Zelda games, almost no Resident Evil games. Bro, Gears of War has some puzzles like that.
Those are fine. Those are fine.
Okay. I was about to say
Gears actually had fine puzzles. What was the other game where there's like the lock picking thing?
Dying Light had a lockpick system. A lot of games have a lockpick system.
Lockpick systems are okay. I can deal with lockpick systems like MGS.
Yeah, Metal Gear has one. I think some of the Splinter Cells do.
Splinter Cells, those are okay.
Yeah.
I actually lockpicking can be fun. Deus Ex I think has like a lockpicking thing. That or just like a de-arming room code thing. That's all okay.
That's okay.
But anything else besides that, fuck all that shit. I'm trying to chill.
Games you miss out on.
Fuck all that. I ain't miss out on shit.
Oh my! I mean, we're talking like there's Final Fantasy games that have puzzles.
That's where, Final Fantasy X was the only Final Fantasy game that I like completed most of. I'm not gonna lie, there were bosses towards the end
that are hard as fuck.
That were impossible. I was fucking 9
at that age.
Whatever age I was, I couldn't fucking beat that shit. But I did, solve a couple puzzles in that game that I was surprised that I solved. I was like, holy shit! Like I just spent 3 days of the summer. Like
you had the drive for it. Then
yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
You're
now
right.
it's like you have it so instilled upon our minds. It's like the first couple times you fail, you're like, you know what? I don't have to do this. Click.
Yeah.
Throw COD on, open HBO Max.
Exactly.
You know, something to just numb you from that frustration. That I mean, that's what it all works for. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But wow, I can't believe that, bro.
Because and I guess I played video games for different reasons. Than
Yeah. I'm not judging you. Don't let it seem like I'm judging.
I wasn't thinking you were. No. I was
Good.
just saying like some people play it for the reason of they get enjoyment out of figuring out a super complicated puzzle. If the payoff is worth it, I'll put it this way: if a payoff for a game is like people like, yo, you've gotta beat this game because the ending is so great, or like even Elden Ring.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, fair. I was gonna name that as well.
Elden Ring is worth going through all of like the super difficult shit. But if there's a game where it's just like that's the game is to just do puzzles,
that's different. No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, no, but don't I don't want to knock any games where they have a puzzle element in it. It's just for me that's a big discouragement.
Can't be based around
it. Can't be based around it. Yeah.
Do you think? I've been wondering how you felt. Do you think the people that watch us like know how big of a fan we are of Elden Ring? I mean, we've only talked about it once or twice by now, right?
You know what? I don't think we talk about it enough. No, I don't think we bring it up enough.
It's crazy because I'm over here, we have a couple episodes here and there where we talk about it. I'm like, damn, they're not going to really know how much of a fan we are. We don't talk enough about this.
Yeah, we got to bring it up more.
Like, we got to come in on an episode both wearing Elden Ring shirts.
For sure. When does the DLC come out?
June 21st
so
or 24th.
Okay,
so you better start playing again.
Yeah, I gotta actually.
I'll beat the game.
I'll need that amount of time to beat the game. If I start now, I might beat the game by June.
I think you can do it, bro. If you only focus on the storyline.
Yeah, right. If I don't do any of the side quests and just, I might be able to get it done at 11:59 the day before the game comes out, before the DLC drops.
Your shit's already preloaded. You're like, you go check the download time. I have 5 minutes left. I have 5 minutes left.
I'm on the same boss. I'm on literally the same boss for the past 2 weeks. Yo, I was watching. What were you saying?
No, go ahead.
No, I was watching Owen play it because he would stream while he.
I remember I used to be in the Discord,
and I remember there would be days where I'd go to work. Like I'd start because I was working from home, but like. I would start the day, maybe, I'm getting my coffee, making breakfast. I'd be on Discord, like talking to Owen and be like, yeah, I'm about to, play this boss today. I would, get on Discord, do my whole day of work, like log back into Discord and he'd be still, yo, I think I'm closer. I got halfway through
this
boss,
time. Right?
Same fucking boss, bro.
I love that. I love that. You know why? Because I remember before Owen ever played the game, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't you buy the game before him? Yeah. Okay. See, and I remember I feel like I could say this. Me and you were the only reason Owen ended up getting the game because he kept asking us things about the game.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to hear that because most people in that situation, right, would just have given up.
Right.
But I love that Owen said, "Nah, fuck that. I'm sticking this out. How many hours later are you talking about?
Like 8, 9.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And he's like, I'm determined. I'm beating this. And he eventually beat it.
And he actually did. And he was like, yo, like, because I remember when he was putting in that kind of work, by like the end of the week, he was super good at the game. Yeah. So that he was able to like just get better and better. And then when he beat the game, he was like, that was the greatest like single player. Because he's like an MMO guy.
Oh.
He was like, that was the greatest like single player thing I've ever played. And I was like, yeah, man. Like,
and now we have a fucking huge drop. Like, bro, I don't know if you checked out the trailer yet.
Yeah, I watched that shit. That shit's insane.
Like, this shit looks like a movie, dog.
It's wild.
The way that they play out their trailers, the way that the game goes about, the cinematic, like the dialogue in between the fights, before the fights, when you're like it literally plays. It feels like you're playing it through a fucking movie, and in the best way possible.
Like it's just one of the most immersive games you could possibly buy right now. If you haven't tried to play Elden Ring, and if you're not somebody that's like into the Souls world, I understand. I wasn't either. That type of shit typically doesn't bring me to the table. I didn't even like. I liked it, but I wasn't a big proponent. Like, you'll never hear me talk about Oblivion or Elder Scrolls.
Right.
Like, I respect it.
Same
it's
here.
a great game, but it's just not my type of game typically. But Elden Ring is that good. It really does take the cake for single player, immersive, just world building, very specific type of RPG built by From Software. It's beautiful.
Accessibility out the roof. You can just do so much, man. You guys, if you've seen the trailer and it gave you even the slightest hint to want to try the game, get it now. You will not regret it.
It's the best. But yeah, man, I think we're. I mean, are you good here, or do you want to?
Where are we at?
We're at like 40 minutes. 40.
You got anything else you want to bring up?
I think
I'm fine to still go if you want to.
I don't. I mean, unless there's more. I guess we mentioned last time that we've been communicating with people in deep space for deep space mining since the 80s.
We did forget about.
Did we talk about how we've been communicating with people in deep space?
You guys,
that we have teams out there already.
Me and Adam came across something insane and somebody insane recently. So if you guys are familiar with the actor Terrence Howard, he actually contacted us, right? I'm sure some of you guys that are going to watch this have seen his clip on how he found a breakthrough in the study of physics. Well, believe it or not, guys, he wanted to come talk to me and Adam about that. We literally had a day. We spent about 15 hours in this room you're seeing right now. That wall behind you, we took those pictures down, covered the blinds. Everything was empty. He came, put up all these maps, and the guy's a genius. Then 15 hours, he explained every little nook and cranny for us to have an understanding. We now get what he was saying, and we've actually profited off this. We haven't told them.
No, we haven't told them that we actually, along with Terrence Howard, we all now have a money hack where we can actually make $1 billion a day.
Yeah.
And that's passive income. We don't do anything for that. Yeah.
You guys remember like cheat codes in like GTA? I forgot the exact input, but it's just infinite money glitch. You can just keep doing it, keep getting money. Basically, it's that, but we don't have to do an input. So
yeah,
if you guys see our lifestyles change, now. We can't get too deep into this, but you guys know this shit now.
Definitely DM us on Instagram if you want to know what the infinite money glitch is. We will let you know about that.
It's just a $250 fee. So
yeah, we
are billionaires, but we still want our money. So
exactly,
give us our shit.
But yeah, hit us up, like and subscribe. This is another episode 2 Detroit Nerds, ladies and gentlemen.